Hello, hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Leah Brathwaite here, and I want to chat about your gifts today. So last week I shared sort of a vulnerable expression of my own gifts, and I was secretly hoping nobody would see it. And at the same time, I knew it was something that needed to be shared. And the response has been so positive and really wonderful. And the cool thing about it is that I've started to notice other people sharing similar experiences, similar insights, similar messages. If you missed it, it's a call to lightworkers. I think that's what it's called. You can look for it. I'm going to see if I can link it here so that you can find it. But just look for last week's video. But in opening myself up and being vulnerable and sharing what was coming through for me with you and seeing the response, hearing how it resonated, and seeing others on their individual paths that I am not at all connected to, just these similar messages popping up into my feed and into my awareness, it helped to strengthen my own resolve, my own intuition, my own insights, and it's allowed my gifts to get even stronger. And that's just within a week. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about how you can step into your gifts, what it means to step into your gifts, and how to do it. And the first thing that I want to share is that everybody has a gift. Everybody has something within them that is meant to be brought out and expressed into the world in a way that only you can do it. You are a unique manifestation of divine energy that is here on the planet with a unique signature and frequency that is here for a reason. You are contributing to the overall collective consciousness through you being you. So it's why being your most authentic self is the most important part. And it's why the relationship that you have with yourself is the most essential foundation for that. So accessing your gifts really comes from getting to know yourself and trusting yourself. And that I know can seem like a big and daunting process, but the way that you start to build trust with yourself is by starting to build trust with yourself. It's these small steps of actually allowing yourself to follow those impulses, those nudges, those sensations, those insights, those intuitions that only you can hear, that only make sense to you, and that are calling you forward to continue building and expanding that consciousness or that awareness, that sensitivity. It's the same as building any other muscle. When you go to the gym, it can seem overwhelming to lift 100 pounds right off the bat, but if you start with 5 pounds and do that for a little while, you soon realize like, okay, I can go up to the 8s, and then I can go up to the 10s, and then I can go up to the 15s. And then over time, you build the capacity to be able to hold more. So it's the same with establishing your gifts and building trust with yourself. It's in small moments when you have the feeling of calling somebody, when you have the feeling of reaching out, when you have the feeling of saying no to something, even listening to those little nudges, those little whispers at first helps you to build the experience of what happens when I listen to myself, what happens when I trust myself. And then eventually the mantra becomes, I trust what happens when I trust myself. You build enough evidence for yourself that following through on these nudges and intuitions and trusting your insights is something that leads you to the next one and the next one and the next one. And you start to see that your path unfolds in a really beautiful way. There's one of my favorite quotes by Rumi that says, as you begin walking, the way appears. But most of us are waiting for the way to be clear before we can start walking. But it doesn't work like that. You are building moment by moment, being the conscious creator of your life and using your intuitive gifts and guidance to move you towards the next step. And you can't take the step ahead of you until you take the step that you're on. So the thing that's in front of you that you've been avoiding, the feeling that you just don't want to look at because it feels uncomfortable, whatever that is the first step. So allowing yourself to be courageous enough to face that step allows the next ones to open up for you. And this path of self-initiate, this path of self-expression, of self-fulfillment, of living up to your highest potential is one that is self-initiated. everybody already has the gift that they are meant to give. It's not that somebody comes along and says, you are now capable of sharing your gift. It is up to us to uncover it for ourselves. This self-initiated path requires us to trust ourselves, to build our own value within ourselves, and to connect to ourselves on a really deep level so that we know exactly what we are meant to be offering, so that we know that what we are meant to do is coming through us and it's not somebody telling us what to do. And that's the most important part. And so it's why I stress so much inside of the Live Free lifestyle, the relationship that you have with yourself, the relationship that you have in connection to your soul, your own connection to your divine essence, that Satnam presence, that truth that is your identity. That is where your focus should be, not on whether people will listen, whether people will respond, or how it's going to come out. It's how it feels for you internally. And then when you build enough foundation in that, then it becomes almost something like you can't hold back. And as you start sharing, you might notice that people don't really resonate with it all at once, but the ones who do will, and eventually your people will find you. So the more that you allow yourself to be seen, the more that you allow those that you are meant to serve to find you. So as you're stepping into this new role, whether it's a new role or whether you're expanding the role that you're in, or whether you're just allowing yourself to experience more of your potential by just taking small steps, however you do that, the energies around you will respond in kind and support you in continuing to go forward. I'm not here to tell you that it is easy. I'm not here to tell you that you won't be afraid, or that you won't feel uncomfortable, or that it won't be vulnerable, or that some people might not like what you want to say. I'm here to tell you that by following your soul, by trusting yourself, and by sharing your gift, you will live the life that you are meant to. You will express the gift that you are meant to share on the earth, and you will live a life without regrets. You will get to the end and realize that you lived full out, that you gave everything that you were meant to give, and that you served the purpose that you were here to serve. So I hope that lands. I hope that resonates. If you have questions, if you want me to expand on anything more, I would love to hear from you. I absolutely love reading through your comments, how this resonates, how it lands. If there's something more that you want me to share on, I'll be doing more messages as they come through, as I channel them through, and I'll be doing an energy forecast for October coming up soon. But in the meantime, if this resonates with you, I encourage you to like it. I encourage you to comment, subscribe. There is so much more coming through this channel. And I just want to say thank you so much for being in this space with me, for being part of this collective, part of this elevation of consciousness. And there's one more thing that I want to say. It doesn't feel entirely complete, but I think really what it is that the more that you allow yourself to step into courage, the more that you allow your heart to beat faster and feel that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this, the more you prove to yourself that you actually can on the other side. And so when we feel that fear, when we feel that resistance, when we feel a little bit afraid to do the thing, that is the opportunity for us to experience more of ourselves, more of our true divine nature, more of the love that we are, because it activates our heart. It makes it beat faster. It calls on us to tap into courage, which is only available through the heart. And through that, it allows us to expand. So if you feel a little bit afraid, you are in great company. Everybody who has done anything great, anybody who has done anything beyond what they've known or outside of their comfort zone has felt the same as you. So don't let that stop you. Just allow it to be a signpost that you're probably on the right track. Okay, so I'm sending you all so much love. I will see you in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.